Hello and aloha to all the people of the earth, wherever you are, whoever you are. You're considered a friend and a part of humanity, and I am connected to you whether you know me or not. Continuing the discussion over the actions and deeds that's guaranteed to bring a spiritual quality by the divine source, His divine majesty, Baha'ullah, the glory of God, with the latest version of his revelations called Baha'i faith. Tonight I'm turning on to one of the master pieces of Baha'u'llah. It's called Hidden Words, and I'm going to read some of it that pertains to this issue of the spiritual qualities. So let's get on with it. Quote, he says, "O son of a spirit, the best beloved of all thing in my sight is justice. Turn not away therefrom if thou desirest me. This justice, to be fair in the life, it is a very difficult thing to talk about it. When it comes to what things goes wrong, but the final judgment has to be done by the system. We should not really judge people on what they are. They're the creatures of God, but what they do and what they say, yes, we're bound to hear it, analyze it, and if we think they are wrong, so we have to carefully remind the person and others about it. Many people, they do not like to get to intervene when they know there is a problem. And it's just too difficult, you know. But Baha'u'llah says that it is not good to be indifferent. You see something is happening, you're a person, it's related to you, especially when you witness it. You have to use justice and try to explain this matter. But at any time, you're not the judge. It's very different to have justice in what you say and what you do, but don't be the judge. To judge people is difficult. So this is one of the things he wants us to do. Be just, be fair. Put yourself in the place of the person. Why things happening. And remember that your own words and your own decree of judgment and justice is subjected to error. It is. So it is always the best, says that, based on my knowledge, my opinion, my experience in the life, this is how I see the things are, especially if you're asked to judge something and to be the judge of it. But always remember that the famous uncertainty principles that Werner Heisenberg brought it in physics, there is always that everywhere. That degree of uncertainty is always there. We can never be 100% fully right about what we say. The next one. O son of being, love me that I may love thee. If thou lovest me not, my love can in no wise reach thee. Know this, O servant. This love of God is again one of the subjects that brings this issue of obedience to God and the commandment of God and all. So Baha'u'llah says clearly that love of God comes when you follow and obey His commandment. But this following Him and this obedience should not be taken as such that as you obey the laws in your country or obey other people. Most of the time when we obey another person, it will benefit the person that we are obeying, whether it's a king or a president or a government. They want our obedience for their own benefits. We may not get benefit out of it. But obeying the law of God and Baha'u'llah is not for his benefit. We cannot make him to become bigger than what he is, or more powerful than he is. This obedience, which shows the love towards God, is only for us. It benefits us. It's the relationship between a teacher, a trainer, and a trainee and a student. We have to follow this only to become better. That's all. The next one. O son of man, transgress not thy limit, nor claim that which beseemeth thee not. Prostrate thyself before the countenance of thy God, the Lord of might and power. How many of times we actually in our life transgress our limits, not know what our limit is. And all the time we remain to be a person and one person with a reference to everybody else. There is no right, absolutely no right. No one has any right over anybody else as a person. But if you're occupying an office, well, you're a teacher in a class, or you're a doctor, or you're a judge, you have to exercise the office, the uniform that you have. So, essentially, whenever we go over our limit, we know somebody is going to get hurt. Somebody is going to object. The objection and hurting of the others is like the horning of the car telling you that you're going into his lane. Just back off and ask the person, why is he horning? Why is he objecting? And find out. And in this case, Baha'u'llah says that your limit is not and cannot surpass the limit of God in his book. Last time I told you a few times, I try to understand and say in my lifetime that certain commandment of Baha'u'llah is not for me, I'm special. And it's not for us, it's for others, those who do this and that and that. It's not so. Now at age 55, I know that the laws of Baha'u'llah, it's indiscriminatory, it's for everyone, and no one, absolutely no one can get away from it. He's the manufacturer of mankind, and his fate is the manual, and nobody can write it except himself, the one who has created things. Therefore, this is our limit. We can't just go on and say anything. We could add or re-explain or elucidate or explain things in a different way so to become digestible for other people, which would be the philosophy. But at the end of the day, it has to circle around the core idea and the fact of the faith. Alright, let's go on. O son of Bing, how couldst thou forget thine own fault and busy thyself with the fault of others? Whoso doeth this is accursed of me. O son of man, breathe not the sins of others as long as thou art thyself a sinner. Shouldest thou transgress this command, accursed wouldest thou be, and to this I bear witness. There's actually in the Shiites religion, and so as in Christianity, Catholicism, there are rules, there are laws, which is admonishing the people of doing good and not doing bad. In the Baha'i faith, you cannot admonish people to do bad or to do good. That's not our business. If seriously you see somebody is hurting himself and others, you may have to refer to the assembly, to the Baha'i elected Baha'i authority, and let them know. But if you start to find fault in others and try to admonish people, as I said before, that we like it or not, we are wearing the uniform of a priest. The moment you find fault in others, or telling them what to do, or telling them when to do good or what's bad, at that time you have assumed yourself to be a priest. What I'm telling tonight, right now, and so far, is my understanding and explanation of what I know of the Baha'i faith. I share it with you. If you like it, go ahead, but definitely you have to improve on it as you hear it. My explanation is good for me for this time. Naturally, it will be at one point sounds very stupid. So as fault finding, we have to understand that. Do not find fault in others. Hey, you do this or you do that. It's really annoying. You'll lose your friend. Unless, my God, you feel a lot of love for a person, try to, like a good teacher, like a good friend, in a most friendly manner, make him aware of what might consequences be. Even my own children ask me to do. Sometimes I tell them, this is what I think, Dad, is 55 years, that this is the way I see it. Whether it is right or wrong, it's up to you to find out yourself. But don't come back and tell me I said so. No. You asked me, I gave my opinion. I don't know. It may work for you, it may not. Alright, continuing. O son of a spirit, know thou of truth. He that biddeth men be just and himself committed